to start to filter in as well too in a little bit, but I want to go live. We're live here on X. We're live on StreamYard. We're live on YouTube, guys. We're doing the space tonight talking about Trump's takeover D.C. Also, we'll mention a little bit this New Orleans red dress run where you got a bunch of dudes out here wearing hot red dresses. You know, it's supposed to benefit charity, but at the same time, a bunch of dudes wearing red dresses. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe to the channel. We over here live on X right now. Our people haven't come in fully, but we got a couple of our people up in here. We got OKN, and OKN was dropping a little knowledge with us about the situation going on. I see my boy Avenge also has got up in here as well too. Shout out to FZX. We're gonna go ahead and okay, if you don't mind, just touch a little bit up on what you're saying about the situation where you're at, how it pertains to the conversation tonight as well too. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I wanted to get you on YouTube, go live. But if you don't mind, if you can pick up on it, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I was talking about a situation currently going on in Nashville, Tennessee, with Bill Lee. You know, going behind everybody's back, you know, the population, the representation, everyone. And, you know, basically conspiring with Elon Musk and the Boring Company out of Pflugerville, Texas, to build a Tesla exclusive tunnel from the Nashville airport to downtown. Now, mind you, either way it goes, this tunnel has to go under a river. Middle Tennessee, just like Kentucky, which is home of the Mammoth Caves, is nothing but bedrock limestone. That's why we don't have subways. Limestone is very porous. You know, going and drilling, like I said earlier, you know, give way to sinkholes. You know what I'm saying? And he just went behind everybody's back. He's not allowing anybody in the meeting, you know, to know what's going on. This company that Elon is using, the Boring Company, they've already had multiple infractions, environmental infractions with, I think they had a project out in Las Vegas or whatever, multiple environmental infractions with that I'm pretty sure, you know, have never been brought to light. You know, due to the cutbacks in EPA, and then it's just Elon being Elon. It's just a lot of shadiness, you know what I'm saying, the underhanded business, you know what I'm saying, and this is going at the taxpayers' expense, you know what I'm saying. I'm sure at the cost of, you know, black people in our community's expense, because every time Elon has stepped foot in our state of Tennessee, black people have been the ones that pay the ultimate price for it. I mean, as you can see in Memphis.
Yes, definitely. Shout out to you guys coming up in here. Okay, was holding it down for a second. I see some of my people coming up in here. We're a little bit slow tonight, but I'm sure we should start filtering in here in a little bit. We got a pretty good conversation. Originally, I sent you a co-host invite. If you get a chance, if you feel like speaking tonight, you can accept it. If not, you know, I understand as well too, but I do, whether you accept the co-host invite or not, I do want to hear your wisdom on this topic as well tonight. And my man DJ Sag1 is up in the house as well too. So shout out to DJ as well too. Originally, I see you requesting to speak. I'll get you up here. You were requesting, but I don't know what happened. Go ahead, DJ. You got it.
Yeah, he up there. Nah, he up there. Nah, I just wanted to say, this daggone X is like really acting up again. They got that bug issue where it's like, they keep asking you to sign in when you signed in 1,000 times. So it's like, it is what it is with this app, man. But go ahead, shout out to the fans, News Total, man. Make sure y'all share the room. Come up to newstotal.com. Let's go.
Absolutely, guys. Like I said before, we're going to touch up on that article from Atlanta Black Star, one of our curation partners. Shout out to Atlanta Black Star. Great in terms of the actual, a lot of posts you guys see me is coming directly off of there. So shout out to them. Great in terms of the news and entertainment as well too. So let me go ahead. Shout out to the original. I see you accepted that co-host. So it's good to have you up here as well too. Shout out to everybody coming up in here. I see my girl Nita down there. It's good to be queen. Shout out to you as well too. Y'all make sure y'all go ahead and let everybody know we're live. Y'all go ahead and retweet out the space. Let everybody know we're live. Original, you want to go ahead and get it in before I touch up on this article from Atlanta Black Star. It's a pretty good article too about the black mayors and the cities as well too. And just so everybody know that this DC thing might not be the only thing that might be about to pop off.
Now, go ahead and do the article. I want to get the article.
Okay. Y'all give me 1 second. I ain't printed up like I normally print it up, so I'm gonna go directly to the actual site. So if it freezes up for a second, DJ Original, you guys can hear me right now?
Yeah, you're good.
All right.
Yeah.
The title is "The President Can Learn a Lot from Us. Black mayors rip Trump for targeting them in violent crime crackdown tirade, and he got it all wrong." President Trump's announcement that he will launch a federal takeover in Washington, D.C. to crack down on violent crime also came with a warning indicating that he might do the same in other major U.S. cities where data shows that crime and gun violence have dramatically decreased. The president deployed 800 National Guard troops to the nation's capital and placed local police under federal control as part of an executive order to liberate Washington, D.C. from the cesspool of crime and homelessness that has become after decades of unilateral Democrat leadership. Trump had indicated last week that he was preparing to federalize D.C. after claiming on Truth Social that violent crime was consuming the city and that local youths and gang members were randomly mugging, maiming, and shooting innocent citizens. To argue his point, he referred to an incident involving a former aide for the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, who was reportedly assaulted and carjacked by several teenagers, according to city police. The president said the former staffer was beaten by local thugs and advocated for prosecuting children as young as 14 as adults. Former Doge head Elon Musk amplified Trump's claims on X, adding that his ex-staff member saw a woman being assaulted by a dozen teens and was severely beaten to the point of concussion after he reportedly ran to her defense. Trump has repeatedly lobbied to federalize D.C. since the COVID-19 pandemic, when the city experienced a surge in crime. As part of his plan to mobilize federal troops, the president said he was going to clear out homeless encampments, which he alleges are harboring violent criminals. And we're going to get rid of the slums too. We have slums too. We're getting rid of them, Trump said. I know it's not politically correct. We're getting rid of the slums where they live. The president signaled he might expand his federal intervention plan to other major cities like Baltimore, Chicago, Oakland, and New York City, which he alleged was also seized by violent crime. We're not going to lose our cities over this, and this will go further. We're starting very strongly with D.C. We're going to clean it up real quick, the president said at a news conference. However, data proves that Trump's assertions are way off base, showing that crime and gun violence have dramatically decreased in these cities over the last year. Baltimore has seen double-digit decreases, with homicides down 22% and non-fatal shootings down 19% through the first half of 2025 compared to 2024, continuing a multi-year downward trend. We all know what the president is doing is really just spitting the right-wing propaganda and using the media and the bully pulpit of the highest office of the land to push things that we know. Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott told CNN, I think it's very notable that each and every one of the cities called out by the president has a black mayor, and most of these cities are seeing historic lows in violent crime, Scott said. In my city, Baltimore, we have the lowest amount of homicides through this date on record. That's 50 years, a 50-year low. Maybe we are too far gone from the broken right-wing policies of zero tolerance, policing, and all the things that did not make our city safer for all those many years. We now know that having we know that having the military there is not the way to do it. The way to drive down violence in cities has been proven. Mayors across the city have brought together law enforcement, the legal community, the actual community violence intervention work to reduce violence across the country and cities to lows that we have not seen in decades. The president could learn a lot from us instead of throwing things at us. Chicago's police department reported that total violent crime in the city is down at least 22% thus far in 2025, fewer than 90 homicides, and more than 400 fewer shootings have been reported compared to last year. New York City also set records for the lowest number of shootings and murders in May 2025, with both indicators down over 30% in the first half of the year compared to 2024. Violent crime in Oakland is also down nearly 29% in 2025, with homicides down 21%, aggravated assaults down 18%, SAs down 24%, and robbery down 41% in the first half of the year. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser said Monday that the city will follow the law after laying out statistics that paint a different picture about the level of crime in the city. Figures released by federal governments also show that Washington, D.C. experienced a 35% drop in violent crime in 2024, reaching a 30-year low, and another 26% decrease in 2025, with data showing continued improvement. D.C. is unique. While we pay taxes and uphold the responsibilities of citizenship, we're not a state. We don't control the D.C. National Guard, and we don't have senators of full autonomy. That's why you heard me and many other Washingtonians advocate for D.C. statehood, Bowser said. Here's where we stand after today's announcement. We follow the law, work with federal officials, and continue the work we do every single day to keep D.C. safe, beautiful, and the best city in the world. Other than reduction in violent crime rates, the other similarity these cities share is that they all boast Black Democratic mayors and all located in the states with Democratic governors. At his press conference, Trump singled out Mayor of Chicago and the governor of Illinois, calling both of them incompetent. This is the second time this summer that Trump has deployed National Guard troops to a major U.S. city. The first was in Los Angeles, where thousands of troops were sent to mitigate massive citywide protests against the federal government's increased immigration enforcement. All righty. I hope everybody was able to hear that clearly. Original, you were able to hear that clear? DJ, you guys able to hear me pretty clear there? Well, DJ disconnecting. So, Original, were you able to hear me clear? Uh-oh.
Yes, I was able to hear you. I'm sorry. I left the phone and I went into the other room. But you know what's interesting about this is these Democratic mayors. Now they're upset. Now I'm not saying I'm in agreement with everything that Donald Trump is doing, but see when you read that section about the D.C. statehood. Okay, when Barack got into office for the first 2 years, he had control of the House and the Senate. Same thing with the anti-Black racist Jim Crow Joe. Neither one of them, tried to push anything toward D.C. statehood. And so now this current mayor is talking about D.C. statehood, but it's like, okay, why you didn't push that when you had a Democratic president and you had control of the House and the Senate? See, from what I can see, now all of a sudden the Democrats want to try to, blame the Republican, blame Donald Trump. But then you look at these cities like Chicago. Now that crazy mayor up there has basically bankrupt Chicago, giving the illegal aliens all these resources, and they are still giving them money. And he wanted to raise the property taxes like 300% or something like that. And that's when more Chicagoans turned against him. Because he had a local radio station here. This lady was trying to say that the mayor of Chicago was doing this great work, and then she muted me, and I had to call her back and say, "Look, he's polling at 14%. So how is he doing this great work?" Because see, you got these Democrats, and the Republicans, they lie too, but it seems like they want to lie and tell us that they are our best option for us to get anything, but they don't do anything for us. They'll provide financial and other resources for all these other demographics, and we don't get anything. And that's what's so sad about it, is that now they're complaining. In so many ways, I'm glad to see that these Democrats are catching hell from Donald Trump, to be honest with you. Because they're not doing anything to progress us forward. We come up and tell them that we need something, or we want them to do this for us. The first thing they start trying to do, just like Kamala, when she was asked about reparations for Black America, she started talking about lifting up to everybody, and then she said, but if you think I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black folks, she said no. But yet, we are supposed to go out and vote for them. Now, see, they done messed around and found out that
they have lost a big chunk of their vote. And so they're not going to find another demographic that will be as loyal to them as Black Americans have been. So they're still in a precarious situation, you know. So I'm just like, you know, I'm not saying that I'm in agreement. I'm listening to some of the rhetoric that, you know, Donald Trump is saying, you know, because who are these homeless people? Are they Black Americans? Are they melanated immigrants? Are they some whacked out white folks or what? So, you know, that's what I want to see, because I was in a space and this person who lived in D.C. said that they still have a lot of resources available to them because of what the Honorable Marion Barry set up for them. So D.C. is set up whereby if you can't afford, you know, your place to live, they will subsidize you a place to live and try to help you get some type of job training and get back on your feet. But see, the Democratic mayors, they're only doing that for the illegals, or they're doing it for everybody except for their most loyal constituents, Black Americans. They don't have anything for us. You know, you got a congressional person in this city whereby 24, 23, 22, on her webpage, she's bragging about how she reintroduced the bill for something to do with gay rights as far as financing and stuff like that, but haven't done anything specifically for Black Americans. And Black people are the majority in the district. See, Democrats, they something else. They come out there with this halfway message where they want us to come out. They want us to believe that they're going to provide resources for us, but they get our vote. Everybody get taken care of but us. And so now they're in the position that they're in. You know, Texas may be losing some of their House seats or whatever, and they're saying some other states might do it too. Well, that's what you get when you commit political abuse against your most loyal constituents, Black Americans. And now you're looking very crazy because we're not coming out there to the rescue. You're on your own. And those people, those demographics you want to assist, they're on their own too. So it's going to be interesting to see how this pan out and what we might be able to work and get something out of it for ourselves and our land.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll say this right here, Tupac. I got you coming up next too. I do find it interesting that all of a sudden that he's deploring, with the situation out there in the protests in LA, you kind of can see with the immigration, I can see, you sending out the National Guard, you're sending out people out there, troops and stuff like that. I don't see you sending them out here. Let's not act like it's only Democratic cities that have crime and everything else as well too. So that part, I don't understand. I agree with you what you were saying, original, but there's so many cities in this country that's crime ridden and everything else. It doesn't matter whether it's blue or red or whoever's the mayor or whoever's the governor. And I don't see him taking that initiative, doing the same thing as well too. So that's my issue right there. Tupac, go ahead. Everybody tonight, watch your language as well too. Do not drop any F-bombs. Do not drop any S-bombs. Let's have a clean show. Go ahead, Tupac. You got it.
What's up with you? I just it's just funny like how easy it is to distract the sheep, the American sheep. So what I've been noticing since I've been little and understanding my enemy, like these racist white groups in here talk about Black people all day. See, the reason is that because they're not going to hold their own accountable, so they punch down. They go back to being racist, Black people this, Black people that. Because they know all the stats on us and what we do. But when you talk about these politicians that commit treason and sell them out every day with the COVID stocks inside of trading, the trillions is missing. It's the same shit with Trump.
Hey, language. Go ahead.
Yeah, so no, what I'm saying is the build-up. So Trump on an island molesting and raping children with whatever politicians, 90% of them. So now they, but to divert their attention off of him, it's attack black people. We got to clean out the black neighborhoods. Then you got these fucking coward-ass white men who blame.
Hey, Tupac, I just before you came on, I just said watch the language too. So please watch your language. You're not dropping F-bombs and all that stuff on here. Go ahead, you got it.
Yeah, but you got the white man who talk about the Jews every day, but the same white men are 70% of sexual predators and molesters in this country. So it makes total sense why these white ATF, white U.S. Marshals, white Secret Servicemen, white veterans, how they all in on it. And they don't have no problem going in the black community and arresting black men, but they not going to arrest Donald Trump and none of these politicians. You feel what I'm saying, yo? So it's like it don't matter who you vote for, what political party you win. They all take an oath to Israel, yo. They all Freemasons. They all Boule, black females of the Eastern Stars. They never here going to help us, brother. We want to have to help ourselves, same man, by doing something, revolting.
Real quick, what's your opinion about the actual article I touched up on about the actual the Trump and the the troops and everything else coming to D.C. and stuff?
It's a show, bro. It's just a show. Ain't nobody going to jail. Who hold these devils accountable? Not the white man. The white man is in on it. The white man is in on the sexual, the predator shit. Look at these white boys. I'm in Baltimore. I'm 30 minutes from DC. We was in DC today. They riding around on trucks and shit like Mad Max.
Okay, Tupac, did you hear what I said, man, about the cursing and stuff? I mean, come on, let's go ahead and just talk and speak or whatever. We're recording this thing on YouTube as well too, so let's go ahead and try to keep it as clean as possible. I know a slip up here and there is one thing, but since you've been speaking, man, you done dropped about 6-7 cuss words. So come on, let's go ahead and try to clean it up some.
Outlaws for life. Let's go, partner.
I got you, bro. But you say for a person who, curse and swear is more sincere and passionate about it, But I hear you, though. I understand. But it's just a show, black man. It's just a show. Nobody's going to prison, bro. And this is what these devils been doing for decades, bro. When it's time to hold them accountable, they turn around and punch down on blacks. And we still playing the game. If we start playing this game, it's over. You think Mexicans gonna hold America down right now? No. You think these Africans and these Jamaicans gonna hold America down? No. If we stop, everybody stop. We talk about how we the trendsetters and shit. Just imagine if black America stop working. Everybody gonna stop working. We is the thorn in that butt, bro. Malcolm X said we are thorn in the butt. He said it's funny that we'll go fight for the white man and go fight Hitler and all their wars, but we won't fight our own wars against them here. They poison our water, poison our children. Nah, we gonna be nonviolent. Burning, churches, killing the girls in the churches. Nah, we nonviolent. But go fight my war, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Niggas it's just crazy, bro. I just listened to some old school Malcolm X, bro. Man. Yeah, black man. That's about it, bro. It's just wrestling, bro. Ain't nobody going to jail.
All right, appreciate that. Thank you. Go ahead. Go ahead, Professor. I see you up here. What's going on with you tonight, Professor?
Yeah, sorry about that, man. I had to go out because of the update. So y'all haven't updated the app. Make sure you do that because it is an update out there. So I just want to say shout out to you, Total, WPI, Original, Black Pressure, Tupac up in the house, Tupac back, Tupac's back. And shout out to everybody, man. Let's just go in on this whole situation with the red dress, right? Down in New Orleans, this so-called event. And I know they said that they was doing this for some type of charity event, right? I'm telling you, for me and my perspective as a male, alpha male, you cannot get me to put on no kind of dress for no kind of special event, charity, or any other special type of occasion, period. I don't see no need for any man to throw on a dress for any kind of event. You can raise money for any type of special occasion without going into the femininity side of things. That is not what a man does. We're not feminine. We are masculine. We're not feminine. And we shouldn't be out here with dresses on, okay? I don't care what they tell us, what the event is, you're not going to get me in a dress. So for these men that we see in these pictures and in the videos, walking around with these dresses on, it looks to me like these guys are really enjoying it a little bit too much. Like they really got into it a little bit too much. And it really comes off as they are, well, basically gay. They really wanted to throw those dresses on.
That's the G word. Don't cuss.
That's not a cuss. That's not a cuss word.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because you know, there's another word I like to use, but I know I can't use that one.
No slow-mo. There you go.
But all of that looks really bad. Once again, it's advertised in a way to make it look like our community, particularly the black male community, is very accepting of something like this. And that is the way they portrayed it. Okay? I want you to understand how they made this look. And see, we have to be really.
Hey, Professor, real quick, let me tell Pressure. I'm trying to bring you up here, but it won't let me bring you up here. So you may have to leave the room and come back. But go ahead, Professor.
Okay. You have to be really cognizant, family, that when they keep showing stuff like this, they want black men that look like these guys, feminine, wearing dresses, wearing purses. They try to promote this, y'all. They promoting this lifestyle. Have y'all not just seen what they're doing in the NFL? They're pushing this type of lifestyle big time. Yeah, now they're doing it with white men too. This is what I'm telling y'all. They're promoting this stuff all over. And I saw a lot of white men in those comments. If y'all know what I'm talking about, the NFL with I think it was the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah. If you look at the comment, white men will get a lot of pushback about it. They're like, man, wait a minute, man, this is girly stuff. And that's the truth, man. No, look, men are men, and any man, whether they be a white man, black man, Hispanic male, whatever type of man it is, if you an alpha male, you ain't down for this type of shit. Excuse my French, y'all. You're not down for this. And you don't want it promoted as your community accepts it and wants it here. Our community don't accept it. Now look, if you want to do this lifestyle, yeah, go ahead, do it on your time. And you want to put some kind of agenda, but do it with your buddies over there in the LGBT community or whatever. Go over there with them. I'm saying don't bring it into the black American agenda, but we are promoting something that's about our people, black American only. We're not trying to push this whole gay and lesbian stuff. We're not trying to push that. We're not trying to promote that. We're trying to promote the family, the black American unity family. Black man, black woman, children. See, black man, black woman, children. Black man, head of the household. Black woman, cleaning the household, children. Also, make sure they honor and love their parents. And we push academics. We make sure that we take care of our health. We pushing an anti-hate crime bill. We want that. We want reparations. These are the things that the Black American family talking about. Not to mention we worrying about, hey, making sure we keep money coming into our families now, into our households right now. That's what we all about. This stuff that they trying to push out here, this degenerate stuff, I'm not down with it. I know all of you in here are not down with it. So I just want to say, anytime you talk about some kind of charity event, if you come to me with some talking about I got to be feminine and wear dresses, you won't get a response from me. I'm not down with it, and I would not promote it. Okay? Now, like I said, I'm not pushing hate towards that community. If y'all want to do this stuff, go over there, but don't bring it into the Black American family agenda is all I'm saying. Now, with that being said, the whole D.C. takeover, right? Trump taking over D.C. My take on Trump taking over D.C. is like this. The Democrats that are over these cities, right? Most of them, I think, are Black mayors. And pretty much, I think the city council is Democratic, majority Democratic. Therefore, you Democrats have had these cities, y'all have had control of these cities, and y'all have done a miserable job of running these cities. Y'all have done a terrible job of running these cities. You have allowed immigrants to come up in there, and you're giving immigrants everything, and you're not even trying to help the Black American family. You don't want to push an agenda for the Black American family. So why should we really care about Trump coming in and taking over these cities? See? Because all you doing is taking our money and pushing it towards immigrants in these cities. You're trying to help these people over here instead of pushing the agenda that we need you to push to help our people. We got a lot of people in our community that are starving, that are out on the streets, and they need homes. They need economic prosperity, jobs. They need health care. They need mental care. They need love. They need hope. They need somebody that's going to sit down with them and say, hey, let's see what we can do to bring in more programs in this community to get our children to be better situated in these schools. Let's see if we can find a way to get our churches involved, to make sure that they pushing an agenda that's going to help our people. That's what we're supposed to be doing in these communities, man. But you Black leaders, mayors, you're not doing anything to help the Black American family. You pushing agendas for immigrants. But then again, some of these cities are being ran by immigrants. So what do you expect? So I'm going to land right there. I'm not against Trump taking these cities over. He can take them all over. Because they're not doing anything for the Black American family. I'm going to land right there.
Let me ask you a question. It's for you, Professor, and anybody else in the room as well, too. Do you feel like these Black Democratic mayors are basically just gatekeepers that's just pretty much, just pretty much on the clock and just watching for, a larger entity? Or do you think that they're being targeted because they are Black mayors in these large cities, Professor? So do you think it's, hey, maybe they're just gatekeepers because we know Washington, D.C. for the longest always had a Black mayor and everything else like that as well, too. But some of these other areas, it's kind of going back and forth in terms of mayor. Because I think what David Deakins was the only other Black mayor of NYC. I think he's the only Black man to ever be mayor there. But do you think that Trump is trying to do dog whistles to the MAGA crowd by going after it, especially because I don't know if a number of you guys were in the actual space when I read that article from Atlanta Black Star. Shout out to them. When they were pretty much showing that the actual crime stats are down considerably from the year before. Some of them have 30-year lows, some of them have 50-year lows, and everything else like that as well too. So do you think that maybe this is all political? Maybe they're trying to send a message to the Democratic establishment, or do you think that, hey, these places are, to the point that they're so decayed that yes, something needs to be done, and federal troops? How often do you see federal troops? When we think about some of the instances in the 90s and the 80s, for those of us that's old enough to remember the crack epidemic and everything else like that, you weren't getting getting federal troops sent to these areas where it was just crack was just overrunning and everything else like that as well too. So what's your opinion about that? And real quick, I want to give a shout out. Or I want to actually I shouldn't say a shout out. I want to send my condolences to the star Danielle Spencer that was on What's Happening that passed away today. Danielle Spencer, I believe she was 60 years old, best known as D. So I want to give my condolences to her family. Even though I wasn't old enough to catch What's Happening when it came on live. Grew up watching the reruns, and then also watched the next chapter of What's Happening Now that premiered in the 80s as well too. So I want to give a shout out to her. I'm sorry, not a shout out, but condolences. I'm sorry, condolences to her family for the loss. She had an iconic role as the annoying little sister D on What's Happening. And I just want to go ahead and send prayers and condolences to her family as well too. But for anyone that can answer that, is this something, a larger thing here that, hey, maybe these black males are being targeted because the actual stats are down? They're showing that, hey, they've knocked crime down. Some of them have a big low. Like I say, I forgot which city it was, had a 50-year low in terms of crime. Or do you think, hey, they're just gatekeepers and they're part of a bigger problem, pretty much?
Well, the thing is, they are gatekeepers, but they also are doing things to make sure that they're not helping the people that's actually within the community. The people that are actually hurting within the community are going to be the citizens that are already here. But what they do is they use the pain and suffering of the Black American citizens to actually latch on to these immigrants to try to push the agenda for the immigrants to be able to get things in this country. Because they are working right along with the American government to push us right out of the way. See? And so it's all a political ploy, hand in hand, Democrats and Republicans. The Republicans, they keep pulling funding back from social programs because they don't want anything out there that Black Americans can go and have access to help the community, right? So you can't get any help there. So then, of course, you would think that the Democratic Party would be pushing an agenda for the Black American people because we are the people that have consistently voted for them to put them in positions. And guess what? They keep turning their back. They'll take our votes, but they turn their back on us and don't want to do anything to push our agenda to help us within our own communities. They use our agenda instead to push the immigrants. So this is where we having the problems at everybody. So we got the Democrats and the Republicans. Really, it's all a game to push us right on out of here. Okay, they both doing it together, and of course, naturally, Trump is out there, trying to play this game as he trying to crack down and be tough on these cities, talking about they not doing their jobs and they letting everything get out of hand. But everything's out of hand because your party has also played a part in that. If you want to just tell the truth. And the Democrats have also played a part in it. So there you go. Y'all both are at fault. And sadly, we have very weak Black American leaders, and these melanated people that's mixed in with them, they're not going to do anything. They don't want to see us get anything either, such as reparations. They really don't want us to have that. But our own so-called Black American leaders are not pushing anything. They're not doing anything. They have fallen weak. They have sold out. So we don't have anybody except ourselves to try to push ourselves to a better position in life in America, because nobody else is going to come to our aid. So that's what's going on, Toto. That's really what it comes down to.
Yes, sir. Let me go ahead and get.
Yes,
sir.
Look in the purple pill. You can see, and I posted this before. You can see what what Professor was saying. Look what I posted in the purple pill. You can see what the current mayor of Atlanta, what he is promoting under diversity and inclusion. He only advocated for the gay community. And look at what's highlighted in that JPEG showing what all he going to do for the gay community. And the mayor that he replaced, she did the same thing. And so I think more Black people are looking at this like, well, wait a minute, hold up. Why am I giving you my vote and you don't even advocate for me? And we got a congressional person in the state of Georgia whereby she's bragging about reintroducing a bill that was something is for financial inclusion for the gay community and stuff like that. And so now I think they're finding out now that a lot of Black folks saying, look, we're not voting for you. If this is how you're going to use my vote and my demographic is not going to receive anything, then screw it. We're not voting for you. And so but what I put in the purple pill is a clear example of what, and not only that, in these Black mayors, like the current mayor, he brought some of the illegal aliens, when all that was going on. He brought some of the illegal aliens here to Atlanta. So this is what they're doing. They can find resources to help any other demographic. But when it comes to Black Americans, all of a sudden, they can't do anything. But they want us to come out there and vote for them. So it's like, no, those things are dead. So I just want people, if you haven't seen this, look in the purple pill and look what I posted, and look at what the current mayor and the former mayor that he replaced, look at how they just advocate for the gay community, and Black folks don't get in it. We don't even get honorable mention. That's how bad it is.
Original, I want you to come back because I know Black Pressure going to be short. So I want you to come back and pinpoint some of that stuff in there. I haven't had a chance to look at it, but I want you to, because I know Pressure going to be quick up here. He's always pretty quick, but I want you to come right back and pinpoint some of that stuff that you're talking about, because I didn't, till you mentioned it, I didn't know it was in there. Pressure, what's going on? I see Shannon and I see Tata down there as well too. What's up, QT as well? Shout out to a bunch of y'all coming up in the space. Y'all make sure y'all go ahead and retweet it out. What's up, Charles? Y'all go ahead and retweet out the space to everybody know that we're live. That we're live in the News Total space as well too. Pressure, what's going on with you tonight?
What's up, brother? You good?
Yes, sir.
Hey, so why you always go into your promo before I get ready? I think you do that on purpose. You always go into your promo before I get ready to talk, man. What's up, man? You been all right?
Yes, sir. I've been chilling. What about you, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good, brother, always. So check this out. So look, before I get into my spiel, let me tell you this. So you know Mr. Mark Carter, right? This morning he had a space on the exact topic what we're all speaking about now. And News, you're not gonna believe this. You know, I agree with everything Mark Carter said. I literally had to go open my door and see the pigs was flying. I agree with every word he said. Oh my God. Every word. I agree with every word. Yeah, for real. So check this out. You know, I heard my brother Professor speak heard my brother Original speak, and I will say this: I agree with both of the brothers, but I wouldn't be me. I agree with them, but I'm going to take a more hardline stance on what they said about the of Trump federalizing the police and sending in the National Guard. So this is what angers me. And look, check this out too, News. I got a cousin. This last night, a nigga called me a coon. I had to laugh at him when he called me a coon. So check this out. So like yourself, DJ, Original, Professor, myself, I'll call us the elder statesmen. We're usually in the space most of the time, the older people in the space. So I'll say this. News, do you remember when we were children, right? And I think we all from the South except DJ, but we'll give him a pass on that. But you remember when we were kids and like our mother or grandmother would give us $1. All the kids get together, walk to the store and come back, right?
Get that in the North. Get that in the North. No, son, come on.
Y'all have to take the sub. So, well, look, check this out, News. I can say one thing. You know one thing our parents and grandparents never worried about when we walk to the store? Bullets flying. Somebody snatching us up. Somebody pressing us about what color we got on. They never worried about that. And what angers me is when you see what Trump did is have some semblance of martial law, pretty much. What people ignore, because I've heard everybody speak, I've heard different spaces, people are ignoring the victims. The victims are black people. And that like I said, that's what angers me. If you know the politics about Washington, D.C., you can go back to the 90s. Black people have been complaining about the relentless crime going on in that place. And like everybody said, the Democratic run city has done nothing about it. But think about it, News. And God rest her soul. Think about your mom, your grandmother, my grandmother, your aunts, and nieces and nephews and all that. Think about that. How does it feel if our family members felt like they were prisoners in their own community that they live in? Those people are fed up, and like I say, like Original said, I can post stuff in the Purple Pill about that going to the 90s till my phone runs out of memory. Those people are fed up, and if you remember when Trump was the president the first time, he threatened to park the tanks in Chicago in the crime-ridden neighborhoods. And Minister Farrakhan came out and he said this, and I agree with him. He said he didn't agree with Trump doing that, but he said when you don't clean up your own community and somebody else has to come in, you don't make the rules anymore. And like I said, I'm lamenting about my people, and I'm lamenting to my people, and I'm upset that the victims of the crime, they're being ignored. These people have been crying, complaining about this for 35 years, and nothing has been done. Now everybody get mad when the white man come in. So I'll mute up and listen.
All right. So let me ask you something real quick, Pressure, because I wasn't in Mark's space. I didn't get a chance to hear it. What did you agree with Mark on? What was Mark's points about this situation in D.C.?
About him declaring martial law.
So he was saying that he was saying
he had other points with it. But on a molecular level, that's pretty much what we agreed on that.
So let me just ask the room, and I want to get everybody's temperature, and hopefully we'll get some of the ladies to come in here as well. Do y'all believe that it's to that point that in some of these cities, in D.C. and some of these cities in particular, that it's time for the actual federal government to come in and declare martial law?
Yes. Oh, yes. I agree with Black Pressure. Because if you're not going to clean up within your own cities, to get things better for the people that's there, that's within that city, that are actual lineage citizens of that city, and you want to go out here and push an agenda for other groups, but you're going to use those citizens that are already there, use their suffering and pain to push other people's agendas, then yes, Trump should go in there and take those folks out. Yes.
And news, can I say this too? And I've confronted people from this area in these spaces and had heated, I won't say we got angry, but had heated discussions with people from Southern California. And it's been in your spaces and some other spaces. I told them the same thing, and this is well before this martial law and Trump was even the president. I told them straight up, I don't respect niggas in Southern California. And I'm strictly talking about the gang culture out there. And it's a kind of akin to what's going on in Washington, D.C., when you have the elders and mothers and aunts and children, they're scared to sit on their front porch, scared to let their children go play at the park and go walk to the store because bullets flying. The white folks need to come in there.
Oh, okay. I'm with you on this right here. It should never get to the point, like you said, as kids, we were able to grow up and matter of fact, when you're talking about how we all used to walk to the store and stuff like that, I can attest to that. I was talking to my dad about that. I was telling him how, we used to go around and stuff. And my dad was like, yeah, I know you boys used to be everywhere. And because I grew up in Lauderdale, like I know you boys used to grow up, y'all used to be walking everywhere and doing stuff. He like, you know what? We never worried about you. We never thought that something was going to happen to you and this and that or whatever. So I can understand what you're saying, Pressure. Like I didn't live in one of those areas, even though we lived in predominantly black neighborhoods and stuff. Like I didn't live in an area where you're like, well, we outside playing football. We got to worry about somebody coming by doing a drive by, even when you lived in played and went to neighborhoods that was considered rough neighborhoods and stuff like that. But let's be for real too. Things kind of changed when that crack epidemic kind of took off. It really, really destroyed a lot of black neighborhoods. And at that time, if law enforcement, if they would have went in there and did what they had to do at that time, I think it would have saved a lot of lives, and and it would have helped the black community out a lot more. But they didn't do that because you had too many people making money from jailing people, locking them up, and also taking that dope that they got off of the streets and reselling it back on the streets as well. So that's my only thing. And I look at the martial law thing as well too. I just wonder how is it going to affect black people and stuff like that? Because let's be for real, even in some of these crime-ridden areas, the majority of the people there living in these areas aren't criminals. Unfortunately, a lot of people live in areas where, they have to live with what they can afford to live in. But you have a lot of hardworking people that's living in these areas that aren't criminals, that aren't going around victimizing people, anything else like that. They simply don't have the money to go ahead and move to an area, that would be nicer. So I'm wondering about that. And I'm wondering if we talk about martial law, is it only going to be Democratic governors and states and mayors and stuff? Because we got a lot of poverty, we got a lot of crime. I don't know how they keep spinning this. They're like all of the crime and all the poverty and all the violence is in only these blue states. Plenty of red states got crime and poverty and everything else as well too. So I mean, are they going to be moving? Are they going to be going to some of their own strongholds and putting martial law in there as well too? Or this is just going to strictly be aimed at Democratic cities? Because if you were fair about it, and you say, you know what, we're gonna go to this city and we're gonna go to that city too, and it's gonna be in our backyard and everything else like that as well too. Are we gonna be hitting up some of these trailer parks where they got these damn meth centers and everything else going there? Because we see the impact of meth and everything else in this country now, and the fentanyl and everything else like that. We see all of this stuff going on. We got human trafficking. We got organ trafficking. We got everything going on in this country as well too. So is this just going to be predominantly in poor neighborhoods, aka black neighborhoods, the ghetto, the slum? Because I heard him, he was able to put the slums in there. Sometimes code speak as well too. So if it's going to be all around, that's one thing. But if it's going to be targeted to a certain group and a certain demographic, then that's where the issue comes up. Because we know how policing looks, and policing didn't have to get to that point. For years, we said, hey, you need to have people that look like the people in the community serving these people that grew up and went to the same church in high school and everything else. Get them in law in the law profession. Let them go ahead and police their own communities. And I think that way you would have a much better relationship between, law enforcement and black people. But we don't do that. So when you start putting strangers and people from different ethnic groups and races and different environments and stuff like that, and they already have an opinion about people that they believe to be criminal and this and that or whatever, that impacts it as well too. Now, I don't know if DJ, go ahead, and then we'll get to you, Pressure. If you want Pressure to go, it don't matter.
Oh, you think you tough, Pressure? You talking about us Cali knackers? Get your butt up against the car, black self. You know what I'm saying? What you got on you, son? You know what I'm saying? You got some drugs on you, son? You know what I'm saying? Oh, you from the Compton, son? You from Texas? Oh, right outside.
Dude, I thank God I did not grow up in an environment like that.
You know what I'm saying? You talking all that smack.
I'd have died when I was 13. I'm glad I didn't grow up in an environment like that.
Get your ass in the time, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because you would have said, I ain't no African booty scratch. I'm from Crenshaw Mafia. That's what, shout out to California, but I agree. You got black folks that's scared to go outside their own neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? That's here in New Jersey too as well. And we talking after the Newark riots happened. So it's like, hey, when you say, when folks are saying, hey, well, Trump being racist, prejudice, all this other stuff. Hey, news drop original real quick. You got probably in the matrix. Trump being racist, prejudice, all this other stuff. Let's not forget, it was the Democrats that enacted the 1994 crime bill when you was just, again, a normal person walking to and from where you was coming from, work, school, business, just minding your business, hanging out in the neighborhood you grew up and raised in, your family been in. Hey, get up against the wall, yo. Where you coming from? That ain't the Republicans. That was the Democrats that did that. You can even ask jokers over here in the Northeast. You know what I'm saying? New York. A lot of these jokers was the Democrats, or you might have had jokers like Giuliani. He a Republican, but we already know he cracking acting. So it's like, none of these folks got our best interests at heart. So when you say, hey, is they just going to be policing the black neighborhood? No, they going after the white ones too. They be busting their chops, but here's the difference. Y'all want to sit down for this one, and there's some civil stuff. They not going to tell you they doing that. See that? This is why having black news is important, to have boots on the ground somewhere in West Virginia where them white folks is out there doing meth and all this other stuff, and they own police be killing them and all this other stuff. It go down. Straight up, it go down. Look at YouTube, man. It's all types of YouTubers talking about this, and bloggers out here on Medium and all these articles and TikTok and whatever saying the same thing. And you got white folks out here heavy, like, yo, Trump, you need to go and get some of these white illegal Europeans. When you going to get them out? I know you get these Spanish people out of here, but you definitely got to come get them. And as soon as they start saying that, you're starting to see a little bit of a ramp up, a little bit of these white Europeans, somewhat. Yeah, they getting busted, you know what I'm saying? For whatever the reason they getting busted. You know what I'm saying? Commit crimes, you know what I mean? SA, you know what I mean? Drugs, whatever it is they doing, guns, whatever, you know what I mean? Starting to see a lot of ICE jokers getting these Asians, get them up out of here. Hey, shout out to New Orleans ICE. They getting everybody. I don't know what's going on down there in the Gulf area of America. They getting everybody. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. They the ICE New Orleans page over here. That's hot fire. That's where all the news at. When it comes to the telegang, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, some folks can't go outside of their neighborhood, sit on the stoop, enjoy themselves. But hold on a minute. I'm going to still give you some pushback. And this is not to say, hey, this is all tether gang that's been doing this. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of this stuff is our people. Let's be logical and honest. The drugs really did do something to our Black American cities and neighborhoods. And let's not forget the issues of the South where we didn't have those opportunities, and for what made my family come to North New Jersey, you know what I'm saying? In the 40s and the 50s, you know what I mean? From Virginia, North Carolina, and stuff like that. Because, Jim Crow of the South was being discriminatory, redlining, still segregating, and whatever it is you could think of. Just for them to come north and face the same thing, but it was quiet. Yeah, you know, you can eat in a restaurant, but I might still spit in your burger or whatever, and you ain't gonna know. And I'm gonna just look at it while you just salivating up. This burger fire, white lady. Off the loogie when I was just sick 2 days ago in that joint. This is why you can't eat out no more, man. Straight up. This is why you cannot eat out anymore, because you don't know what these tellers doing. You know what I'm saying? Keep it real. Same thing with the advocates. They boycott these people. They upset. A lot of these folks is in the hospitals treating you and your grandma, you and your son, family, uncle, father, whoever. Hold up a minute. We ain't think this thing through to a certain extent, but yeah, it's still boycotted, because we've been talking about this for a minute. Hey, what's up with all the fake nurses degrees that's coming from Florida, Toto? You feel what I'm saying? And they winding up here in New Jersey somewhere. I think one of these tellers killed my grandfather. Keep it real. You get them up out of here, Trump. So it's like, hey, it ain't just going to be the black neighborhoods. It's going to be all the neighborhoods. The only real difference is, and I can show you the evidence of how these white folks, all I do is watch Karen YouTube videos of how the cops be beating their butt, like whooping them, you know what I'm saying? I just watched this one with this is like an old white lady. She was trying to board a flight, and she wound up getting drunk or something like that. The cops, man, they dragged her out of the airport. She was kicking, screaming, she pissed on them and everything. You know what I'm saying? Dragged her straight through in the paddy wagon, Yeah, you can talk to your lawyer when you get down to the station, you know what I'm saying? Word up. And they be killing them too. You just got to catch these videos. But remember, the white Jewish news media owns everything that is news and what you see on the television. We have to have our own and go report on how them Jews is digging these tunnels up here in Brooklyn and in Manhattan. Got soily, dirty, red blood-stained mattresses. This no allegedly stuff. This is on the news. You know what I'm saying? They had to show it on the news because it was just it was too prevalent. You know what I mean? Hold up, what y'all doing and got all these little underground tunnels up here? Like y'all over in Gaza and Israel fighting a war or something like that. You know what I mean? Right here in New York City, man. So it's like, hey, black people, you better go get this property. You better go back to work if you out here thugging is over. You know what I'm saying? This the digital age. I don't understand how y'all jokers commit crimes anyway. And I'm from this lifestyle. So it's like, I don't get it, youngin', but I think a lot of that stuff really is on us. It got to be on us because someone dropped the ball somewhere along the line. You know what I'm saying? Some folks made it out. The vast majority didn't, How can that be? You know what I'm saying? And you'll have a tether like Obama sit here and tell Negroes, us, to continue to pull yourself up out of bootstrap, and his wife, a.k.a. Mike, you know what I'm saying, sit up there and don't say nothing. And she's supposed to be from Chicago, supposed to know how hard it is. Black women out here homeless as heck from California to New York City, man. That's all jokers is complaining about the rent, out here, man. Maxine Waters told a bunch of black women, hey, y'all need to go home. Hey, we came out here to get these vouchers from you, Maxine. We've been out here all day. She laughed at them, So it's like, hey, these are the places like over here in North, Ross Kumbaraka, why you out here advocating for the tellers at the Delaney Hall jail? You got youngers getting killed right here on Springfield Avenue. They playing Call of Duty in real life right here on Chancellor Ave. Driving stolen cars going right across the stop sign. A tether, check this out. A tether just killed, I believe, a black American woman and injured another one right here in my neighborhood of Wheatway North. Hit the lady, drove off, came back, and I guess he tried to help then. But by then, obviously, it's too late because she succumbed to her injuries. But the daggone hospital, Beth Israel, it was 1 block away, But these people ain't from here, so they don't understand that when something happened. You see what I'm saying? All these car accidents, they just caught a matter of fact, down in your neighborhood, Toto, they just caught a mother and a son, another accident up here in Jersey, because there's been like 3 or 4 of them with these tellers lately, killing manslaughter, vehicle and manslaughter. The son and another person, they was drag racing on a parkway, southbound. The joker that was in an X3, I guess that's the little mini truck or whatever it is, hit 2 cars. The person that was in the car with him racing got ejected, died on the scene. You know what I mean? He fled. His mother helped him. They just got busted at Miami Airport trying to go somewhere overseas. Hey, this is the Democrats right there. So when it comes to our neighborhoods, the other thing we got to worry about too, pressure, and this is the whole purpose of the delineation, because this is what I've been saying all day to these Jamaicans. Hey, we never got an apology for y'all sending the shower posse up here to kill our people. So is all the violence that is going on in Black America Negroes' fault for real? Yeah, to a certain extent. But a lot of this stuff is outside party work versus the self-inflicted, unaccountable work. So we got to talk about that too, because my whole narrative is, how can we have been fighting the cracker-knackers in the 60s during the civil rights to not saying anything at all, and then at the same time allow a bunch of other folks from around the world, to come in here and try to assume to help us fight the crackers? That didn't make any sense. So it was like, who's involved in all this stuff? You know what I mean? Because when you think about the drug wars of the 80s, hey, that was the federal government, the Republicans that did that. Reagan and them, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, hold up a minute, man. Reagan did the Contra wars. Clinton came right back with the war on drugs. See how they flipped it on us? And neither time was the cracker-knacker involved as the face of whatever. Only time the cracker-knacker isn't involved as the face of whatever is when they are the victim, henceforth the opioid crisis. So henceforth we shouldn't feel bad any of these people out here dying. Yeah, China keep bringing in the fentanyl, yo. The enemy of my enemy is my friend somewhere along the line. Everyone playing the fence and playing the sides, except us. We ain't even in the game, people. Go ahead. I ain't want to be dappity. Shout out to News Total. Make sure y'all share the room, too. Largest Black curated news on the web. Thousands of articles. Make sure y'all follow News Total on Funded Socially. Get your Funded Socially account. Yeah.
Also, for those that can, support us on Cash App, $ News Total, $ News Total. News Total is the largest Black-owned Black American news media curation platform today in America. $ News Total, $ News Total. I see we have Patty Cakes up here. Patty Cakes, go ahead and unmute your mic. You got it.
Patty Cakes, yay! Well, shout out to you and good evening to you, News Tours, DJ, Original Family in the building. I hope y'all are having a wonderful, wonderful Blacktastic. What's the day, Tuesday?
Oh, you was on point. You was on point. It's Tuesday. You wasn't at the club last night.
Oh, yeah, I was. So this DC, this Trump DC takeover, well, yo, first off, I went out today, helped a few YMs, young men out, they was everywhere. I tell you what, though, you mind your business and you keep it moving, you know what I'm saying, you pretty good. I mean, I can't even tell y'all how quiet it is. Hey, if you're ever in a space with me, right, and I'm talking, I'd say 15 to 30 minutes, you're going to hear a police siren. Period and point blank. And I was like, I was doing some work, and then I set up. I was like, damn, where the sirens at? Where the sirens? I think I heard one about 40 minutes ago, but I'm like, I'm so used to them, and it's just quiet. But I also wanted to focus and let y'all know some things. So the targeted zones that where the curfews are, those are a lot of times where there's a bunch of events, right? And so that's where people's cars be getting stolen at them events. And so that's why they have them. Like, even when you go to the police map and you look, you're like, why is it there? And that's because that's what they do. Now, number two, just in case you don't know, there's a crime ring here. DC didn't really have like gangs; they just have hood beefs. You know what I'm saying? Northwest, Northeast, stuff like that. The crime ring consists of these people from other countries that put orders and places orders for certain cars, and so a lot of these kids are from other places, and they hold these people's. Oh, there's a siren, guy.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I know, right? So, but they hold these people's families hostage unless they get these cars, and so he's Trump is actually stopping way more than I don't think he actually understands, right? And so as far as you know, I guess I don't really have a problem. I mean, as long as you do what you're supposed to do and follow the law and move the way you're supposed to, you should be fine. So, some of the other problems is that because there's a bunch of teenagers that run here all kind of times of night. You know, no parent nowhere in sight, but they catching them like, yo, what you doing? Where you at? Unless you got a ticket to go to like the Nationals game or some event, and you out here, you a teenager, you might as well just call it a day, because they like, look, bruh, and like even in the stores, bruh, don't stop in the daytime. You think you slick, you try to steal in these stores. I just saw something funny earlier today. Little two guys and a girl tried to like steal out of the store some perfume, and it's like the security guard was like, yo, put that back. I see you. I ain't did nothing. Oh, nigga, you can't do shit to me. You ain't no real cop. Yeah, but guess who was in there? The feds was in there. Beautiful. That fan told them, he said, if you get out this store and stop stealing, not only am I going to lock you up, but I'm going to lock your parent up, because they shouldn't have you out here doing all this stupid stuff. I'm like, whoa. Them kids was
right there.
I know, right? Like, them kids was fighting, scared. Okay. Yeah, he was like, yeah. Unless you out here, you got a job. You got a job? No, I ain't got no job. So they cracking down. I mean, you know, he said they were like, yeah, the crime ends today. I'm like, I'm it's just a change. The air is quite differently, and brothers and sisters, and I'm gonna tell you something else. I think they kind of getting the message when it comes to our mayor. She's really did a horrible, shitty job with the city. She's done a shitty job. Oh, I'm sorry. She's done a horrible job with the budget. She just mismanaged. She didn't give to the citizens. Listen to her, she'll say residents. And today,
what's your man named Bow Bowers, right?
Bow Wow, yeah.
Yeah, I got you, Bow Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So she finally today in her press conference, she said citizens. And I'm thinking, this whole time she's been saying residents like it was just some, you know, it just comes out her mouth so much, residents, and that's because this is a sanctuary city. And if Trump's plan was to take over this city to maybe do something about immigration, or, you know, these people that are running around, because just like New York and other places, it's catch and release here too. You know, so and plus the majority of them that are doing a lot of these crimes, and I'm not trying to be funny or whatever people say. I'm telling you from when you're there, you're at the jail, you're seeing the intake, and you're like, oh, where you from? I'm from Jamaica. Where you from? You know what I'm saying? I'm from. Yeah, you seeing them, and you seeing them more than you seeing like us. Which is something else. So I just wanted to put y'all up on game, say hi to y'all, bless y'all. I ain't seen none of y'all the month of Sundays. I told Original Blood it was so glad to see him the other day in the space. Professor, I see you too. Alabama, always. Y'all have a good night. I land.
For sure, and that's just appreciate you, Miss Cake. Shout out to DMV too. Make sure y'all go visit our what's left of the Chocolate City, I guess, at this point, because I was mentioning that today too, because I lived down there for a little bit. Shout out to Capitol Heights. You know, is there any more really Negroes in DC? Real quick, you got 30 seconds. Let me get the Vanguard.
I live in Ward 8. You know what I'm saying? That's
what section is that? Because I never understood the wars. I only north, east, south, west. You know what I mean? That's what I know.
Okay, so I live in Southeast. That's where my folks is. You understand? Zip code 20020. That's in Ward 8 or also 20032. So I'm off of Minnesota Avenue and Pennsylvania Avenue. You know, Pennsylvania, you know where that leads you to. So, but I'm on the black side of it. I'm across the bridge. Thank God.
1600.
Huh?
1600. I know the code.
Yeah. I'm at 4,000.
Yeah, I got you. So I told you I was down there. Hey, look, when I walked past 1600, I didn't even know where I was at. I'm looking around like, oh, that's what the way I look like. Oh, snap. I'm literally right here.
Yeah. For sure. Well, that's out to y'all in this space. Thank you.
For sure. Appreciate you, Miss Cakes. Hey, what's up? What's the word, Black Vanguard? How you doing, sir? What's going on out there in California, man? Trump,
not much. Yeah, they are those. So he about to deploy the National Guard. He about to deploy him, try to do regular police patrols in Los Angeles. Same thing in Oakland. He about to deploy the National Guard and federal police out there in Oakland as well. So we keep an eye on out here in California as well. They talk about deploying in Baltimore, New York City, and other cities though. But we gotta keep an eye on this situation though. Even though I'm not for it with all that stuff going on though, but you gotta think about it though, is that they're not getting after these white criminals though too, especially what happened over there. I know y'all heard what happened a few months ago, how you had this white domestic terrorist over there that actually killed two high-ranking political officials out there in Michigan. And not Michigan, it was like Minnesota. You heard about this story?
Yes, sir.
And also it was another incident happened, I think, a few days ago. You had a whole white supremacist nationalist woman out there in the Bay Area, Elk Grove. I know Brother Twizzle could respond to that. She tried to carry out mass attack against black folks all throughout different multiple cities, including Oakland, a lot of areas in the Bay Area, Sacramento, where our people's majority. She trying to protect the power grids out there and trying to cause a whole bunch of chaos all throughout the major cities where our people's at. Then she had a whole bunch of networks internationally where she tried to carry political assassination hits a lot of political officials all throughout California, all throughout multiple states, and through America. And also, she had links tied to Turkey, Canada, Australia. She was trying to take a high-ranking elected government officials in them countries, though. She just got caught a few days ago. So this is kind of hypocritical, in my opinion. I forgot the woman. I'll put in Jumbotron for y'all.
Like Consuela, the Spanish lady or whatever, right?
Yeah, that happened out there in Elk Grove in California. How she is a white supremacist nationalist woman that got caught, had a she had an international high organized crime arena going on throughout multiple different states and countries, though, where she was trying to carry out mass assassinations on these high political officials. Some of them were black, though, like Barbara Lee out of Oakland. She was one of them. That was part of it as well. So that's kind of hypocritical. They don't watch these people, though, but they watch us, though. So we keep an eye on this. Then all the homeless people out there in D.C., she talking about rounding them up. For you understand, D.C. is a majority black city. D.C. is like over, I think, 46% black. It's still a majority black city. In Oakland,
that's what I meant to ask Miss Case, because she's down there or whatever, but not anymore, because North is not anymore a predominantly black American Negro city. You see what I'm saying? Up here in the Northeast, yeah, we got a lot of other black. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got a lot of Jamaicans, especially going to DMV East Coast. You got a lot of people. You got a whole bunch of Jamaicans. All throughout the DMV East Coast here, you got a whole bunch of Jamaicans, a whole bunch of Nigerians, Ethiopians out there, real heavy, especially all throughout the DMV area, all throughout the East Coast areas. You got a whole bunch of Jamaicans and Haitians and Nigerians, Ethiopians out there in that area. So I looked at the WhiteHouse.gov thing on the Twitter. They said they arrested close to like 30 people so far in DC area within the last 48 hours though. So he ain't playing with coming at though. Yeah, he definitely is serious. Then you had, I think, the mayor out there in DC. She was trying to file a lawsuit, trying to put a injunction in that though, but because how DC is set up is that DC is not a state; it's like a District of Columbia. So the president declare a state of emergency in that for like 30 days, and then after 30 days, he got to get approval from Congress though. So it could be permanent though. Right now, it's only he only can do it for 30 days without having Congress approval. So we try to keep an eye on this situation though.
Hey Vanguard, you know what I was saying earlier, yo. It's like that's what these white devils do, bro. They punch down. Because these FTA and marshals and FBI agents, they not going to arrest Donald Trump and all these congressmen and women for raping fucking children and killing children on Epstein.
Hey, Tupac. And I'm back now. I done said I don't know how many times not to drop an F-bomb on here.
I didn't drop an F-bomb, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah, bro, you did. You didn't hit yourself?
You in the outlaw right now, man. I want to have the outlaw you just shot around, brother. No, I mean, but let Black Vanguard finish so we get to Twizzle and Rottweiler and Black Pressure. Go ahead.
So we keep an eye on this though because he could deploy any federal troops in any military in any city for 30 days. So I have the Congress approval. After 30 days, you got to get Congress approval. Like in DC, after 30 days over, then the Congress got approved if he ever go through one. Because I think most likely he might extend it for 30 days because he got full control of the House and Senate. So I can guarantee you that it's going to go on for more than 30 days, though. I'm not sure how it's going to carry out. Same thing in Oakland. He talking about deploying them in Los Angeles, patrolling the black communities out there in Los Angeles, Oakland. I think he named cities like in New York City. You got a lot of immigrants out there in New York City. And also out here in LA, you got a huge Belizean and Jamaican population out here in LA. A lot of Ethiopians out here though, so we're trying to see how that's going to play out through. But I told them is that that's kind of hypocritical though, because you ain't policing patrolling the white communities like that, especially go to these majority white city states like Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, places like Montana, Utah. We have white militias.
You don't be watching the right. Hold on, Pac, stay in your mic, man. You don't be watching the right stuff. They be killing their people out there, bro. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? We just don't see it on the news because they are codified because they have their own news agents. Fox, NBC, ABC, Elon over here with Gronk, Zuckerberg with Facebook. They all some J gang. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get a black gang and have a Vanguard News, a Rottweiler News, a Tupac News, a New Talk, Press News. Everybody gotta go get their stuff, bro. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, so we can say, "Oh, look what they did." Level the playing field. You know what I'm saying? Because
and also, I pointed out what happened out there in Minnesota, how you had a white militia. That person from some kind of white militia is assassinated two high-profile elected officials out there in Minnesota. I brought that story back to life. A lot of them white folks started complaining, saying, why you bring anything about race? Now I bring that other incident what happened in Elk Grove in the Bay Area. How you had a white woman had a whole entire transnational underground network where she was trying to do multiple political assassinations of high-ranking officials in other countries, including here in multiple different states here in America. She was trying to plan on attacking power grids, hacking into air control navigation systems, bringing planes down all across America. That type of thing these white domestic terrorists are doing, though. And I'm glad I've been bringing that up, though. So they've been trying to bury these stories, though. Same thing out there in Maryland. A few years ago, you had a white nationalist woman trying to attack the power grid in Baltimore. So these are stories that these white folks don't like to get let out the mainstream media.
They got both of them, though. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Hey, let me.
We gotta bring the stories out and try to counter what they're doing though, because they like to bury it in the mainstream white media though. They don't talk about stories like that, and I'm glad we started bringing the stories out.
Appreciate that, Black Vanguard. Who was next? DJ, I'm back now. I'm not sure who was next on this. Let me give a shout out real quick to Ugly Truth as well for the contribution on Cash App. But who was next? Was it Rottweiler, Twizzer?
Twizzle, Rottweiler, then Black.
No, I was up here before Twizzle, bro. Stop it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that
Hey, Rock. Go ahead, Rock. I don't think he didn't mean nothing by it. He just must have got the order, made a mistake on the order. Well, what's going on with you, Rock Roller?
Yeah, what's going on, News Total, DJ, everybody in the room? I just wanted to come up and say this real quick, man. I've been listening to, what Donald Trump is doing in D.C., with the police. But I just wanted to ask the room this question, man, because I always talk from a perspective of where I'm from. I'm from Georgia, middle Georgia. I live about 20 miles south of Macon, Georgia. And what I see in my state, in my city, bro, is that every day, and I told this story probably about 100 times. Every day I see a brand new business opening up every day in my city. And it's either an Indian, a Hispanic, or an Asian. And these folks have got $1 million worth of merchandise in these places, bro. I mean, that my city is literally becoming a third world country, like, to me. So my question is, and y'all talk about this crime with these young the YNs and all of that, all this crime that they're doing. What are these people are supposed to do when you can't get a job because they're replacing you with Hispanics? You can't open up a business because they're running your credit. And these other folks are coming over here with no credit history. They're starting businesses every day. What do you expect black folks to do? I'll tell you what I would do. If I can't feed my family because of racism and white supremacy, I'm going to commit crime, bro. Real talk. And I'm going to land.
Malcolm X said we supposed to been had our own shit by now, bro.
This dude here.
We supposed to been had our own shit by now, bro. We shouldn't be asking no shit.
You went to the shadow. West Side.
I don't know if this.
Take a mile.
I don't know if this dude can hear what I'm saying, or he just don't give a damn one.
He in the studio, bro, writing some mixtapes. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Rest in peace, Fatal. You know
Roller, that I appreciate you coming up here as well too. So thank you for dropping that. I know it's always with you. It's always going to be quick and fast. So appreciate you coming up here. Let me go ahead and get to Twizzle. Twizzle, what's going on with you tonight?
What's up with the gentlemen? What's up with the ladies? What's up with the scholars or the players up in there? Rockwaller, what's up, my brother? You understand me? What's up, company? What Black Vanguard was saying, I think the company could speak on a lot on that because I'm not too familiar with what's been going on up there lately. I'm kind of acute to it, but I'm not too familiar with it. But I know that what Black Vanguard was talking about, that goes on a lot of that area, like in the Sacramento area, all throughout that area, the 99 to 5, the Sacramento, Pittsburgh, Antioch. That's where we got our little rednecks and little so-called skinheads out that way. And like they said, that ain't nothing but meth country. All them people out there, they all off meth, and they don't have nothing better to do except fight and scheme to pick their bumps.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Him right between Oregon and Washington, between Oregon and Northern California, right before you get to Oregon.
You got to understand that Highway 5. You got to understand meth started in Portland, Oregon. And when we had our governor at the time, he was our mayor at the time, Jerry Brown. He had a plan on bringing 5,000 residents to downtown Oakland. The first thing he did was he sent the pitch out to Portland, Oregon to bring them Neanderthals and them trailer parks and them, as they say, transients down here. And when they came, they brought the meth, they brought the homelessness, and they brought a lot of disease and festus out here. Because like I said, once the white people came, the transients brought the meth. And once that meth came, it was over with. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it was. So what I want to say is we have a lot of that out there in the outskirts. But in the major cities, like where I'm at in Oakland, we just had an incident company, Black Flag, you know what I'm saying, Vanguard. We just had an incident to where they are trying their best to cover this up to where a black man was hung in the Oakland Hills a week ago. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, really? I know nothing about that.
A black man was hung in the Oakland Hills, and they said that only one reporter had the luck to come across it because they said the police not announcing it because they said if the public find out, the streets were going to go crazy. So they're trying their best to keep this under the wraps, but it got out, and I found out about it, and I've been telling everybody about it. So slowly but surely, like a fire, it's been picking up. So these MFers, they are trying their best to call themselves trying to kick something off, but yet they are scared to death, and they are trying their best to use them immigrants to do it. And I was saying something because our brother Raceable, he was speaking on something about on how young black men should sign up for ICE, and I agree with that. I agree with that because out here in California, the racism with Hispanics and black is at an all-time high. So if a lot of young black brothers sign up to ICE, that will give them the power to fight these immigrants and send their bus back, because they always looking at us like, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? Well, hey, there's a lot of young black brothers that's in the federal enforcement agency that's going to get y'all right back to Guatemala, Honduras, to the lower or wherever the F you came from. You know what I'm saying? Because I am tired of them being ticks over here leeching off the privilege and the wealth of America. And then when they leave, they're going to leave it dry, leaving American citizens like me trying to scramble and pick up like where they left off. Like, what's next? You know what I'm saying? This is something that really needs to happen with Donald Trump, with this federal thing. I come from the 80s and the 90s. I remember when we couldn't walk down the street 3 deep, because if you did, the police will assume one of the three of y'all will be on probation. And we used to get jacked sky high. If you was on probation, they would pull your pants down in the middle of the street. We used to get dead bad. So I feel like with this federal stuff, I feel like it's kind of not for us. It's not for the black Americans. It's for these immigrants, for them to hurry up and swoop them up out of here. Do y'all remember several years back when they kept videoing them trains carrying all them tanks and everything? I think it's something bigger that's going to go on, and they trying to hide it and describe it as this. But I really think there's something really going on, because you got Russia, you got China, and everybody out here on our heels. You know, you got Trump for to meet Vladimir Putin in Alaska soon. So I think it's really something bigger going on, because we already know if it was, our government wouldn't let us know until it happened. And if it did happen, they'd probably say it was an earthquake or some type of natural disaster, because, you know, they're good at sweeping stuff up under the rug and putting lipstick on a pig. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say, pay attention to the bigger picture. You know, they saying this, but why are they saying it? What are they covering up? My dad always told me, don't ever understand something, overstand, you know, because just because somebody say something, figure out why they're saying it. And then you will get the big picture. Then you will be able to make a clearer decision on what you need to do next. And that's how I feel. I really feel like that we really need to just keep minding our own business. And some of our young brothers, because they lowered the requirement of ICE they lowered the requirement to be an ICE agent from the age of 40 to the age of 18. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's a good opportunity. You know, they're not police. They're not in the neighborhood. They're not locking brothers up. You know, they're federal, and they're only going after these illegal immigrants. You know, this is patriotism, if you ask me. Said if I was 10 years younger, I would sign up for this shit, me personally, just to be giving these ambassadors the Timberland boot to the butt. You know what I'm saying? Steel toe Timberland at that. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to the room, man. Shout out to the family. And like I said, the company, he could speak on that situation with that, you know, that female flea bag in Sacramento. I'm not too familiar with it. Hey, shout out to you, News Trotter. Go ahead. And I just want to say shout out to you, News Trotter. And I hope I was kind of PG. I hope I wasn't too rated R. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the room, and I land my plane. I just want to say one more thing. Shout out to the better bars than pop. Hey, I see you, DJ. Shout out to the grown folks in the room. You know, shout out to the adults. And hey, I shake my glass right there. James Bond say shake it, not stir it. Just laying out to y'all, Pim.
All right. Appreciate it.
It actually happened in Elk Grove, right outside of Sacramento, a little bit outside Sacramento.
Appreciate
I don't know what Elk Grove is. I'm very familiar with Elk Grove. I have family out there, but go ahead. I'm sorry, y'all.
No. I was just gonna say I appreciate you coming up here tonight, Twizzler, as well too. Definitely appreciate it. Yeah, you dropped the S bomb, but it wasn't nothing like Pac. I don't know how many bombs he dropped in here tonight, but shout out to you, Twizzler. Let me give a shout out to my man Simply Rick as well too for the contribution on Cash App. For those that can support, once again, $News Soda. Let me go ahead, company. If you want to come up here and speak on what Twizzler was saying as well too, you're more than welcome to come on up here as well. Okay, he's up here. Let me get the Black Pressure, and then company, if you want to speak, just raise your hand and we got you. Yeah.
One more thing before I drop down is that there's a lot of breaking news going on right now. Jasmine Crockett has officially just lost her seat because of redistricting. Oh my God, let's go.
You say Jasmine Crockett? She just lost her.
Nobody cared.
Oh, she just lost her seat, huh? Okay.
Yep, it's over for her.
I had an article on News Told. I can't remember which curation partner it was, but they was talking about Jasmine was like the future. She was a future leader of a new political generation as well too. So, if she took a loss like that tonight, man, then that wouldn't appear. She wouldn't be the future leader.
Embarrassing. She was embarrassing. She was very embarrassing.
Hey, if you listen to her nose, if you listen to her speak publicly, she talks about the only two subject matters she talks about in public: trans bathrooms and immigrants.
Yeah, that's all she talk about. But that's what she get. A lot of these other Democrat elected officials, they scared right now, like that D.C. mayor and a lot of the California, let's say Black Caucus members, they scared too because he know that he's about to come after California next, but we got to keep guard on, make sure they don't attack us, the most people on the ground, on the grassroots, though. But he's coming for California, though. He's actually coming for Karen Bass as well, because he talking about...
I kind of want him to come for California. I do. Because California is a sanctuary state. And I want him to shut it down because sanctuary, what is that? That's harboring illegal criminals. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, it sure is.
And I want him to because once he do that, you know how much money that he's going to seize that these illegals are getting? Don't y'all know California's in an $8 billion deficit because Gavin Newsom was giving illegal Medicare to illegals?
Sure was.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why California, yes, and that's just a measure. That's not including everything else. So once he cancels that sanctuary and declares it illegal, you don't know how much money is going to be out here, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Black Vanguard.
I can't wait for him to do it.
Real quick, y'all. Let me get the Black Pressure because he had his hand up for a minute. And I get back to y'all.
Yeah, it's all good.
Go ahead,
Pressure. When we get to cooking, man, when it's hot, it's hot.
That's true. It's hot as fish grease. Go ahead, Pressure. You got it.
News talk.
Okay, so check this out. I want to clear something up because I'm getting a few DMs. So I'm going to clear something up about the federalizing of police.
You got a cousin, bro.
Yeah, martial law, right? So I'm not saying that it is going to fix the issue. It's literally an intimidation tactic, which I'm a fan of. Don't get me wrong. But News, you brought it up, and I'm going to touch on something you brought up. You brought it up. It was very eloquently that you brought it up, and Professor brought it up. Original brought it up, but I'm going to try it. Like I said, I'm going to take a more harder line stance on it. Right? If you look at your black politicians in Democratic-run cities, and I can speak on it because of where I live, the geographic location of where I live. Right? So when you said that when the crack epidemic took over the black community in the 80s, and the nation's response to that was just to lock niggas up and throw away the key. That's an absolute fact, right? But you got to realize this is why the Democratic politicians are failing black people in these cities. And News, like I said, credit to you because you brought it up. I'm just piggybacking off what you said. Okay, so I'm from the Gulf Coast region of the United States. I live in Houston, right? In Houston, oil and gas is king. It's literally from Texas to Florida. The whole Gulf Coast, oil and gas is king. They have every politician in their pocket. They have the school districts in their pocket. They have the Department of Transportation in their pocket. They control, oil and gas controls all of that. So when you say, like Professor said, and Original said, you said why all these black politicians are failing. And I got to give a shout out to Mark Carter. He said this: you have to follow the money. And I guarantee you this: I've never been to D.C. I've never been to Baltimore. I've been to L.A. I've never been to Miami. The places where Chicago, I've never been to Chicago. Places where we're having these glaring issues with crime and illegal immigrants. I guarantee you this, News, and I'm willing to put money on it. And I went in the purple pill to drive my point home. Everybody check the purple pill and look at my post. To drive the point home, I guarantee you this: if you could put a gun to all these black Democratic politicians, you put a gun to their head and threaten their life, I guarantee you this: they're in the pocket of big pharmacy, big tech, the prison industrial complex or oil and gas. That is who is paying them, and that is who they're taking their orders for, and that is why they ignore the black condition in these cities. Like News, I think Twizzle brought this up, and I'm not going to disagree with my brother, but I will say this. News, remember when you said what they did with when the crack epidemic swept through Black America, and like I say, their remedy was to lock us up and throw away the key? Look at how the opioid epidemic swept through the Ozarks. Now, like I said, when it was us, when the crack epidemic devastated our communities, the remedy was to lock a nigga up and throw away the key. But when the opioid epidemic swept through the Ozarks, it was give them a hug. And this was a, what did they call it? They blame this on a social issue, and these people, it's mental health, and these people, they need a hug. So, like I said, I'm going all the way around the block to say the reason that they responded with us like they did with the crack epidemic is because it was lucrative to do it. Excuse me. It was lucrative to do that too. If you go on the purple pill and look at the Truth in Sentencing Act that I posted that's a part of the 94 crime bill, this is what Biden did. And this is why we were locked up from coast to coast. Biden in the 94 crime bill and the Truth in Sentencing Act, he told all the state prisons, the state-run prisons, if you follow the paradigm of the federal prison, I will guarantee you billions of dollars in grant money, and that's why we got locked up from coast to coast. So I'm gonna say this in closing. Well, no, I gotta do that one more thing to say, but I'm gonna say this part about us getting locked up in closing. It was lucrative. That's why they locked us up, and they treated us like they did. It was lucrative for them to do it, and I'm this is my last point. And this is, like I say, this is me lamenting. So I don't want the family to take this the wrong way, but it does upset me. I've heard all my brothers and sisters talk, and, everybody gave their spiel on, what they think the issue is with, with Washington, D.C. and what's going on and what white people are doing and this and that. But I'm still not going to back down off this. Am I the only one who are going to bring up who the real victims are? And these are black people. These are our family members. These are who they're complaining to. They've been complaining to the politicians for 35 years about the relentless crime. It's cool when you say, the white people doing this and they doing this. That's cool, but white people are easy to spot. When I see their skin color, I know not to trust them. I don't care anything about white people. I care about my grandmother, your grandmother, your aunt, your niece, your nephews that catch straight bullets going walk to the park to play. They get pressed about what color they got on and what neighborhood they're from. We cannot forget about the victims. Our family are the victims of this crime. And I'll mute up and listen.
All right. Appreciate that, Pressure. The company said he was muted. He's having problems. So, company, I'm going to drop you down, and then you can request to come back up, and maybe that'll clear it up. So,
Hey, mind if I get 30 seconds, News Shoulder?
Go ahead, you got it.
I remember those days in the 80s. I remember when crack first hit. That's how far I go back. And I remember when...
Hey, how old are you, big dog? How old are you, brother?
51.
Oh, okay. You're a little I'm close to you. All right.
Yeah, I remember to me, when I first seen crack, it was 1985. And back then, we called them hubbas. You know what I'm saying? And you got to understand, the shit started where I'm at. And I remember when all that shit happened, that we had a form of police. Excuse me. Yeah. We had a form of police called the task force. And that's all they specialized in. And what they would do, they were the original jump out boys, to where they would ride around with these blue jackets with open police on them. And they would jump out on you and harass you, like I say, strip you down, booty butt, you know what I'm saying? And if you had anything, if you had something the size of a kibble, you went to jail for it for 6-7 months. And I say this, and I know this, and this is one of the reasons why millennial women have issues with men, because a lot of their fathers wasn't around, because they got caught up during that epidemic. And one of the most important things, and I'm going to land my plane on this, it was a lot of children that just took them from the homes because of that. You know what I mean? If a lot of people, I know a lot of y'all wasn't around in the 80s, they had this documentary on Netflix called Crack. And they talk about what happened in the 80s, and they get clear. They get a clear documentary, and I was there. And that, man, when I saw it, I cried, because it brought back those memories in those days. But as I said, You don't know how many black children were taken out of homes all because their mothers tested positive for that. Back in those days, the social worker used to come by the house. And if the social worker saw any man's clothes or anything disturbing, boom, the kids were taken out of the house, put in foster homes, and the woman lost her housing and her so-called funding, which was welfare. That's what they did in the 80s, and that's how they attacked Black America. And that's another argument that we have to include into our fight, because as long as, as well as with the crack era, that's another thing that they did where they broke up Black families where the men couldn't be in the house. And if they saw a man pair of socks, they took the children and put them in foster homes. You know what I'm saying? I land on plane right there.
Hey, news. Hey, news. Give me like 30 seconds. I forgot to drop something. It's going to be real quick.
Go ahead, because I want to get to Mark, but go ahead.
Yeah, hell, look who we brought. Boy. Nah, what's up, Mark? But check this out. Check this out, dude. I know they had a brother that spoke earlier, right? And I apologize to the brother. I don't remember his screen name, but he spoke earlier. But I'll say this, and I'm gonna make it quick. Everybody in here is Black in America. And I guarantee you, everybody in here has been down, even being a man, when you understand masculinity. You know, it's like a little bird when they first learn how to fly. Hey, sometimes you're going to fall on your face. Dude, I promise you, I done been young and had too much pride to ask my, people for help. I done sat in the house with no water. And I didn't have to sit there and say, hey, man, should I put gas in my car to get to work or buy something to eat? I've been there. I've been down. And I've been without. But you know what, news? You know what I never thought about? Hurting another Black man. And I'll mute up and listen.
All right. Appreciate that, Pressure. Mark, what's going on with you tonight? And we had to tell everybody else on here, please watch your language, but you got it.
So let me say this to us, because like Twizzle, I came up during those terrible 80s and 90s, where we were zeroed in. I don't think a lot of us know that in the 70s, when we were those children in third grade, that they had already targeted us long before we even understood anything. They had targeted us for prison in the third grade. So when they talk about the third grade test scores, they were targeting us. We were those children. We also the generation that was by the 90s, that we were the first to be mass incarcerated. We talking 94, 95. But I skipped the 80s because I want to go back to that to show you how everything progressed. They looked at our third grade test scores, determined that we would be the children to fill the prison system by the time we were old enough to even understand again that we were the target, right? In the 80s is when they started drafting the legislation. They were crafting and determining what crimes would be targeted for the truth in sentencing laws and mass incarceration itself. I'm saying all that to say to us, and I know most may not agree with this part, but the social engineers who knew the right thing to do did the exact opposite, because they hated us. They hated our parents. When I say social engineers, I'm talking about you secret society Black folks, you racist Jews, and these Irish and all these different people in these different cities. They are worse than dope dealers and gangbangers. They created this madness. Just like now, when you see what Trump is doing with sending the National Guard into Washington, D.C., unlike the last time where you see where they targeted those who were selling drugs and doing the shooting, you're looking at Trump, but you fail to realize that the social engineers are more dangerous than anything or anybody that they could point out. Pay attention to them. The ones that go into these universities and come out mad scientists. The ones who receive millions and billions of dollars a year to socially and economically develop these poor areas across the country. And never does. They never do their job. Although they still spend the monies. They steal the monies. See, there would be no need for the National Guard if the social engineers who were paid to socially and economically develop the communities did their jobs. So pay attention to that sometimes. Stop letting them get by with this, oh, they innocent and these are the educated black. Those are the most dangerous ones in our community. The ones who went to the table, a part of this social engineering, paid to so-called develop our communities and never do their jobs. They are Dr. Frankenstein. The people that shooting and killing are Frankensteins. There will be no Frankenstein without Dr. Frankenstein. And these are the ones who need to be indicted, sent to prison. They caused all this madness. They starved your communities into savagery and then pointed at the people that they starved and turned all us against one another. Like the Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz was keeping up all the problems, but had you looking at, had Dorothy them looking at the witch and the witch hating them. No, it was the Wizard of Oz. And who was behind the curtain? The little racist Jew. They showed you who they are in that movie right there, but they show you in a lot of these movies who they are. See, you weren't taught to see them. You were taught to see who they told you to look at. But I'm telling you that these people, and I ain't just talking about no crackers, I'm talking about these wheat thins too. Don't let them get away. If you're going to hold Trump accountable, then you hold, and you definitely, if you're going to hold the people who are victims of these mad scientists accountable, then you must hold the mad scientists. You must hold these Dr. Frankensteins accountable. Because there would be no need for the National Guard if they treated our community the way they treated illegal immigrants. Where they gave all resources. They put all, y'all saw it, the last 4 years, they put all resources known to man into stabilizing and developing these people who have walked in across the borders breaking the law. They gave them everything that they need to stabilize. But when it came to us, they say lock us up. They say bring in NAFTA. NAFTA sent all the jobs across seas, and all the companies that still stayed in America, they gave those jobs to immigrants too. Y'all don't know what it looked like for the way things looked in the 90s for us. See, y'all may think that it was just as simple to go get a job. No, these people hated us. They had every intention on locking us up. Like I say, since the 70s when they were looking at our third grade test scores. Somebody just spoke on what they did to women and children. Where they took and broke, you talking breaking families up? Do you all understand at the level in which they broke black families up? When it came to mass incarceration, welfare reform, NAFTA, if the lady was connected to a drug dealer, she got thrown out of public housing with children. So I don't want to have these conversations unless we're going to talk about these social engineers along with Trump, along with the people who are selling dope and shooting and killing. Don't leave them out of the equation. They're not special. We're not going to stand idly by and let them continue to do what they do. They are the dangerous ones. They are the ones who receive hundreds of millions of dollars over the years, billions of dollars over the years to socially and economically develop these communities and failed our people and don't want to be questioned. And I'm specifically talking about you D9 members, you Masons and Eastern Stars, you racist Jews. I don't care if you don't like what I'm saying. And if I forgot to say something, I meant to say that too.
All right. Appreciate that, Mark. DJ, go ahead and I guess I'll go ahead and let you finish it up for tonight. We'll go ahead and close it down after that.
Ain't nobody else want to talk. It's over. You know what I'm saying? I can't be the only one with the hand on
news show. You need to get us at least another hour, at least 30 minutes, but come on now. You know, some people just now coming in, man. You know what I mean?
You gotta come to the late night space. We're going to work in a couple hours, bro.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm on West Coast time. It's about to be 7 o'clock out here, so y'all gotta forgive me. You understand?
Yeah, DJ got the late night space to continue it. So we started.
DJ be going to sleep in his spaces, man. Hey, you go to that man be in there. He be in there counting shit top of the wood. You know what I'm saying?
Right with the late now when y'all straight doing the rella. Shout out to the rella.
Let me say this also to us. So to all of those government workers that are losing their jobs, good.
Good, man. That's what I said, Kurt. That's what I said,
Those are the ones. So to young people that are in this space, let me tell y'all something so y'all know who they are. Those are the evil black folks and a whole lot of them black women. A whole lot of them black women. Them black homosexuals and them elitists straight black men. They were working alongside of this evil system under this Democrat Party. See, they told y'all to pay attention to these Republicans. We don't have Republicans in our majority black cities. These are Democrats. And these people were working in government. They did everything in their power to block poor people from resources in these unemployment offices, these housing authorities, these aid offices. They starved the people out. And when the people responded back negative, they're the very ones who turned their backs and said, we don't care if you kill them, put dope on them, lock them up. We don't care. So now that they get fired, good. I don't care nothing about them losing their jobs and their house in foreclosure.
Good.
Man, I don't care nothing about them. I care about as much about them as they cared about those poor women and children that they messed over. So good that they losing it all. Now we all gonna be evil. We're gonna return evil with evil. I'm glad Trump is firing all of them. Don't let them cry to y'all and have y'all fighting for them. Them the evil ones that say don't give you nothing. But when these illegal immigrants came here, they gave them everything. Look, Joe Biden couldn't just say give it to them without the evil weak things out of them universities that worked in government giving the stuff to the immigrants. They the ones that on the ground level that block y'all from the opportunities. And so now the chicken is coming home to roost, or they want you to cry for them. Trump is attacking us. No, Trump attacking y'all. And that's a good thing. Let that evil man deal with them evil people, and we turn our backs on them, like they turn their backs on us. So maybe next time they'll learn to love their people instead of hate them. If they get it next time. But I don't have no sympathy.
Me neither.
Rock Roller, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go ahead, Rock Roller, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna close this one out. DJ got a late night space. He's gonna be continuing the conversation in his space as well, guys.
Yeah, I wanted to respond to that. I think it was the guy Black Pressure who said that he ain't never got so down that he would hurt his own people, and he was responding to me. And I'm gonna say this again, bro. Where I'm from, there ain't no Jews or no D9 people down here holding my people back, bro. It's white people down here holding my folks back. And if I can't get a job, if I can't open up a business, and only thing I'm left with is to commit crime to feed my family, I'm gonna do it, bro. And I'm not saying I'm gonna hurt anybody, but I'm gonna do whatever it takes to feed my two sons, my daughter, and my family. So that's my answer to that, bro. And I'm a lane.
All right, Black Pressure.
This late night space is like it's gonna be popping off for real. So let me go.
I'm gonna win. It don't matter.
Hey, go ahead, DJ. So I'm gonna close this thing out here.
Hey, I just wanted to tell you on top of what Rock Roller was saying earlier about and what everybody was saying, but just to add into. Don't forget, Minnesota had a cyber attack. They had to shut they city down, yo. You know what I mean? Like 911 services was working and all this other stuff. So it's like, yeah, come on, late night space. We'll talk about it. Whatever. Shout out to News Total, man. You know what I mean? Bringing you these dope spaces. Let's go. Hit the Cash App next.
Yes, sir. On that note, we're gonna end it. But DJ, he's got a space. DJ, what time that's
DJ, go fire it up, baby.
What time that space finna pop off, DJ? Oh, is he there? He might have went to go start it up. I don't know. On that note, guys, we're gonna
trying to hit this button, but come on over. Yeah, we got a problem. Let's go.
All right. So we
come into the news total community, so that way we could be amongst ourselves. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Right here, come to the news total community. Right here on X, we got a group community. You know, or come to fund it socially as well. But you know, we over here. You'll see the love, man. Everybody follow each other. There you go. End the story. Let's go.
All right. On that note, we're gonna shut it down. On that note, Mark, they want y'all to come up in there as well too. So Twizzler, Black Pressure, everybody take it over to DJ Space Late Night. Part 2 continues. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna holler at you guys. Peace. Be safe. We'll see you.